But thank you, and thank you, Paul, for bringing that to our attention.
And all the best to Paul and his family and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Super League Pod recommends, Mark. What have you been reading this week?
Well, I've got a couple. One was kind of thrust upon me, but definitely worth a mention, and actually a grateful gift we received. We can't get through these World Cup series without receiving gifts.
We've just been showered with presents, aren't we?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But my own personal one that I was going to bring to the table is just the new series of Alan Partridge's Mid Morning Matters started last week. And,
that's the first thing I do when you go home, is watching that.
Absolutely. If you want to watch it all binge watching, you can get it all on Sky Box Sets.
Is it all there?
Yeah, it's already up there. But I think me and the wife are drip feeding at the moment. But we might get to a point if it's wet next weekend and we're sat inside thinking, let's just smash them out.
There you go.
Out of the park. So that's great to have Partridge back. And on great form if the first episode's anything to go by. There's a particularly good exchange where he sort of forces a debate between a pro-hunt person and Sidekick Simon, who acts as a anti-hunt person because his missus is a vegetarian, so that's why he can be on that side. But it's brilliant.
Super.
Amongst many other Partridge hijinks. And the other one I was going to bring in was Dave Cantrell kindly brought up for us a copy of the first issue of the Rugby League Down South fanzine.
Which is superb.
Now, people are familiar with Rugby League Down South from the podcast that Ian Ramsdale has produced over the last few years, although sporadically, let's say in the last 6 months or so, as big change in his life has meant he hasn't been able to get on it so much. But this is great. This is so it covers everything from the local scene, a little bit of news. Dave was saying his local club covered in a story in the community news, which is the Brixton Bulls. They are going to have their first open age team starting up. They've just been youth teams before, so there's one. I'm guessing if you know, as time goes on, some of our other people will get mentions in here, because there's a mention in here for the Devon Sharks about their link up with Wigan, and similar about the Cornish Rebels one with Saints. So we hope that we'll see things in here for the St Albans Centurions, because they're in a heritage year type thing. It's their 20th year of existence this year, so they're celebrating that in various ways. And also our friends over at the what's his name? It's escaping now. Aaron Smith's team,
over at
the Eels,
Brentwood Eels. I think it's South London Chargers, the Brentwood Eels.
So we'll hope to get plenty of that going, but it's great to get this as a gift. I mean, if anyone's interested and they don't live in the South East and they don't go to any of the games down there, they are on sale at the games down in that region when the new monthly fanzines come out, but you can also order it online. If you go to, it's not that straightforward, unfortunately. So the Twitter is at RLDS_, or on Facebook just search for Rugby League Down South, and I'm sure that'll give you links to where to buy it from. The website is www.r-l-ify.myshopify.com.
Fair enough.
So there you go.
That's as bad as I thought it was going to be. That's okay.
So next month they're going to look forward to the season for the League One clubs. They're going to talk about Wigan's plans, which maybe we won't have a game down there this year because of all the other fixture swaps we're being forced into. But having a look at some things like that, and looking at the university scene down there as well. So it's a really great magazine put together by the guys down there.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's predominantly George Clark as well as Ian Ramsdale who put it together. So there you go, two good.
Get better those boys
guys,
then. Absolutely. Okay, my SLP recommends is also televisual. It was something I stumbled across on Netflix this week. It's called American Ham, and it's a comedy special, essentially, by a chap called Nick Offerman. Now, if you're familiar with the TV show Parks and Recreation, which is a very popular American sitcom, you'll know who Nick Offerman is. He's a very, very funny chap, very dry wit. But I was just sort of flicking through Netflix and having a play with it, and I like a bit of stand-up comedy, and I was trying to find something new that I would enjoy, and I recognised him from being off Parks and Recreation, although I'm not an avid viewer of that. So I gave it 5-10 minutes, and actually what it ended up being was not just like a comedy show, but actually this guy's kind of guide to life and different recommendations for how to get through the trials and tribulations of life. Now, people have we've talked about things, to do with my past and what have you, and actually, found that it was a very interesting kind of. It almost became like a lecture, really. It was very funny and very well done. It's tough to explain the tone of it accurately, but if you've got Netflix, give yourself the opportunity to spend 10-15 minutes watching Nick Offerman, American Ham, and I'm reasonably sure you'll see it through to the end. It had me laughing and thinking at the same time, which takes some doing. So this week, SLP also recommends Nick Offerman.
Good recommendations.
Fantastic. Okay, so what's coming up on next week's show then, Mark? Well, we've got all your feedback and shout-outs,
I didn't
Tom.
write anything down for it. I should have just deleted this, then we didn't mention it.
This is our 88th episode, mate. We can...
Tom!
He did it on purpose. Right, so, what's coming up on next week's show, Mark?
Just the standard. We don't get anything special.
We've got all your feedback and shout-outs.
We should have Tom's poll back next week.
I'm bringing my poll back hard.
Good stuff.
Next week.
And we'll also have maybe a brief throw forward to the new NRL season, because we'll be picking an NRL fixtures to watch, which will primarily be the ones with the British players in.
Yeah.
But so we'll have a little bit of a mention for the NRL next week. So I don't know if people want to throw in the predictions for the NRL before that season starts. It's the Challenge Cup again, isn't it? So we'll be talking about that. Is it this week or the week after?
The week after, so we'll be previewing the Challenge Cup, won't we, as well?
So we'll be all around that. And,
and we'll be dealing with the aftermath of Saints of Wigan playing on a Wednesday night.
Thursday.
I mean, sarcastic again.
Well, that one didn't come across as
bless
well.
you. Just like
I'm so tired now after all this time.
We've had a lot, It's
been a long weekend.
Yeah, it has been a long weekend. Right,
and also listen out after our show ends in a minute with the outro music to the little bit of promo on the Ruffians Cup that we mentioned last week as well.
Yes, fantastic. Okay, if you want to get in touch and give us your thoughts and feedback from what's been going on the show or what happens this week, there's a load of ways you can do it. You can get in touch with us via our Twitter feed. We'd love for you to follow us there. We are at Super League Pod on Twitter. You can send us a message on Facebook and like our page on there. You go to facebook.com/Super League Pod.
Yeah, we've had a few new likes in the last week or two, but we would love to see those numbers increase, because we are way behind on where we feel we should be now. With the listen numbers, with the Twitter numbers, with the read that we're getting of our blogs. We want more of you liking us on Facebook, please, and we'll throw more content up that way.
That's it. Get yourselves over there and give us a like. And also you can send us an email to superleaguepod@gmail.com.
Don't forget to check out Tom's blog, for those of you who haven't already. It's got links to important information that we think needs sharing about domestic violence and about where to donate to Tom's to support Tom charitably. So that's superleaguepod.blogspot.co.uk.
Okay, that's episode 89 of the Super League Pod. In the bag. We'll see you next time on your podcast, the Super League Pod.
Have you ever wanted to play with the greats of rugby league? In front of a crowd? In a stadium? Well, on the 2nd of April, you can do just that at the Whitebank Stadium, Oldham. In the first Ruffians Cup, a limited contact rugby league tournament, filled with former ex-professionals and internationals and open to social rugby league players. So don't worry if you're not in the best of shape. And if you don't fancy playing, well, come along and watch. There's an Easter market that takes place at 1 o'clock and you just donate on the gate. Players are asked to arrive at 1:45 and the tournament kicks off at 1:30. For more information, ring Graham on 0757 215 1523. That number again is 0757 215 1523.